Blood and Oath, Episode 2, Welcome to the Suck. Training pushes the limits. I have learned that war does not begin with battle, it begins with suffering. My body aches, my limbs scream in protest, and my pride is in tatters. But none of that matters to Sergeant Grayson. He does not see me as an alien struggling against the limits of my physiology. He sees only a recruit who must be broken before he can be reforged. The sun glares down on the training field, the dust swirling in waves of heat. My modified Marine uniform clings to my sweat-drenched skin. Before me lies the Martian drop drill course, a nightmarish stretch of uneven terrain, barriers, and combat obstacles designed to mimic the brutal conditions of high-gravity extractions. My task is simple: retrieve the fallen soldier, a 100-kilogram human-sized dummy, and carry it across the course under simulated high-gravity conditions. Simple, but not for me. I hoist the dummy onto my back, my limbs straining under the weight. Every step is a battle against the force pressing me down, as if the planet itself is trying to break me. My breath comes in sharp gasps, my vision blurring at the edges. I stumble, fall, and immediately Grayson's voice cuts through the roaring in my ears.
Again, Doc, you think the enemy's going to give a damn that you're tired? Marines don't quit. Now move.
I push myself up, my arms trembling, again and again. The world spins, my legs buckle, but still he does not let me stop. My resentment grows with each failure, the sting of humiliation cutting deeper than the pain. But I refuse to give in. I will not give him the satisfaction of watching me quit. Hours pass. The weight of the dummy, the relentless pull of artificial gravity, the sheer exhaustion, it all builds into something unbearable. I collapse, my muscles no longer obeying me. The world tilts as I hit the ground, dust coating my face, my body heaving in protest. This time, I do not rise. Footsteps crunch beside me, not Grayson. A different voice, one laced with experience and something dangerously close to sympathy. Doc Hayes.
Oh, you hate him right now, don't you? You think he's just pushing you for the hell of it, that he wants you to fail.
I do not know what he wants, but if his goal is to break me, he is succeeding.
He's not trying to break you, Doc. He's trying to keep you alive. Because one day this won't be training. It'll be real. And if you can't carry a man out of a fight, he dies. And so do you.
His words hit harder than any of Grayson's drills. I stare up at the sky, feeling the weight of more than just the dummy. I have been thinking of this as a test, a trial of endurance, of proving myself. But it is more than that. It is survival, and survival, I realize, has no room for resentment. The next day, I return to the course. My body protests, my muscles raw from failure, but I force myself forward. The dummy waits, its unyielding weight a reminder of my weakness. I grip its harness, hoisting it onto my back once more. My legs tremble, my breath comes in ragged gasps, and once again, I fall. The weight is too much. The increased gravity makes it impossible. It is not a matter of willpower. I simply cannot lift this much mass under these conditions. I grit my teeth, frustration bubbling up inside me. Then, something clicks. The objective was never to lift the Marine. The objective was to save him. I scan the course, my mind racing. Nearby, a thick training mat lies discarded near the obstacle run. An idea forms. I drag the dummy onto the mat, grip the edges, and start pulling. The reduced friction makes all the difference. I am still slow, my muscles burning, but I move. Step by step, I drag my fallen soldier forward. The weight is still immense, but it is no longer impossible. By the time I reach the finish line, my arms are numb, my vision a tunnel of exhaustion. But I have done it. Grayson watches from the sidelines, arms crossed, expression unreadable. Finally, he nods.
You adapted. Maybe you will make it after all.
My body has barely recovered before the order comes. Deployment. The war waits for no one. We are loaded onto the dropship, the tight quarters filled with the scent of sweat, steel, and anticipation. My uniform feels heavier than before. My stomach twists, but I force myself to remain still. I have trained for this. I have suffered for this. Now, I must prove I can endure it. Grayson moves down the aisle, checking each Marine, his gaze sharp. When he reaches me, he pauses, his expression unreadable.
You ready, Doc?
I nod, not because I feel ready, but because I must be. He studies me for a moment longer, then smirks, a small, almost imperceptible thing.
Guess we'll find out.
The dropship rattles as we break through the atmosphere of Tarkus 9. Through the viewport, I see our landing zone, a dense jungle scarred by battle. Fires burn in the distance, and the sky is thick with smoke. The moment we touch down, the doors open, and the real test begins. My training is over. Now I must survive. The heat is suffocating. The air is thick with humidity, carrying the distant stench of death and burning vegetation. My boots sink into the soft earth as we move out in formation, my hands gripping my medkit like a lifeline. My mind cycles through every lesson, every drill, but nothing truly prepares you for this. The waiting, the knowing that at any second, hell can break loose. A sudden explosion rocks the jungle, shouts, gunfire. The world turns into chaos, and before I can think, we are in the fight. My training kicks in, my body moving before my mind catches up. A Marine goes down, and I am there, my hands working as bullets tear through the trees around us. There is no time for fear, no time for hesitation, only action. Grayson's voice roars over the comms, orders barked, squad movements relayed. The battle unfolds in a blur of motion and sound. Somewhere through the chaos, I hear his voice, less commanding now, more certain.
Welcome to the suck, Doc. Now keep your damn head down and do your job.
And for the first time since this began, I understand. This is what I trained for. This is what will define me. I am no longer just an outsider trying to prove himself. I am here. I am in the war. And I will not fail. Thank you for watching episode 2. Welcome to the suck. Click like and follow or subscribe to get more videos like this. Be sure to check out the next videos in this 8-part series.